There we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the random. Welcome back to the. Welcome. Well, there we go. That's just the right angle I want this to be. Welcome back to the Random Fandom. I'm your host RavenWood, and welcome back to the couch of the Random Fandom. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try streaming at the couch. Because the last couple of streams have not been great. Just terrible, actually. Just quite awful. Abysmal. Awful. Terrible. Historically, just awful. Just horrendous. I'm going to have to reread a few chapters because I did not know that the last couple of streams did not did not pick up at all. or rather, they picked up. One stream had like 9 minutes in, about maybe 10, I don't know. And the other had about 36 minutes in. So you know what? The last chapter we read was the previous chapter before Skeleton, which was. Let me screw this. Forget this. Oh, where's the table? Where's the table of contents? There's no table of contents. What the heck? It just says contents. Well, F tier book, in my opinion. Let me just look up the previous chapter. I don't know why I just didn't do that first. The shore of the inland sea. Anyways, so like the entire month of June and the entire month of May, just rainy season. Rain, thunder, lightning, shower, rain, water, get wet, Wi-Fi internet connection down. I said, sorry, I don't know if I said that right or whatever. Just in the negative, and then infinite negative. So we could not get a proper stream in. We just could not. And then there was like the fact that the loading, the process of loading a video was 15 to 20 minute video, 3 days, a 3-day tour for one 20, maybe 30 minute video. It took me 3 days just to upload one video. Wow. And then I'm going to have to, and then now I'm late. I'm also like, mind you, I'm also late for like the Transformers video that I want to do. Because I initially thought Dominic was going to make his Transformer video, but he decided to sign up for this month. So yeah, there's that. So he decided to sign up for this month. Hopefully, maybe not guaranteed for this month, but he decided that he will do one, I guess. I don't know which one. I'm not certain. Hoping it's the one I teased the previous episode, but he's decided that he'll eventually get that done. You know, he'll finally make an on the shelf video after all these years of Grimlock. Well, not years. It's been 2 years, has it? I'll look it up. Anyways, he's finally decided to do some of the on the shelf stuff. The Jurassic Park collection will grow, and that's another thing. So there's the Jurassic Park collection that that we still have like some Jurassic Park or Jurassic World, whatever. I just call it the Jurassic Park collection. Anyways, we still have like Jurassic Park stuff that he has yet to open. Now I've opened some of my gifts to him on stream, but those were like just smaller stuff. He's gonna open the bigger stuff, and so I'm glad that he'll do that once he's motivated. And I'm not trying to rush him. I'm trying to like sort of somehow just get him to do the thing. Anyways, so this is going to be a catch-up stream, and this is also Jurassic Park theme. This is also going to go to the Jurassic Park collection. I may have to double check the collection because I may or may not have added the streams that I needed to add. So maybe not all of them, some of them probably. I may need to double check I need to double check the collection or whatever. Oh, and this month, stay tuned for another collection being opened. Or rather, I'm putting it as opened. I guess there's one collection that there will be one collection that we will expand upon. Hopefully, mostly me on my part. So there's the Star Wars collection, there's the Jurassic Park collection, there's the Transformers collection, and now I'll fix the Halo / Master Chief collection. I'll fix that. I'll fix that. I'll call it the Halo collection. Anyways, I'll fix the Halo collection, and I call it a collection, but they're like playlists. Anyways, the playlist will be set. I'll have that set up. I feel like there's a few other things that we do not have set up, but they'll all be set up and whatnot. So yeah, the very late spring cleaning, now summer cleaning for this channel. Not just spring. Well, spring cleaning is technically done. So summer expansion, just kind of summer blossom, just summer fix. Here's the summer fix. Now, summer fix, not flicks, whatever. Now there will be a random fandom live stream coming soon. Jurassic Park theme. So yeah, this whole RavenWood Reads has been a build up to the upcoming film, the Jurassic World Rebirth. So we will be rebirthing. Okay. Why did I say that? I had to say that. Now that I said it, I can't. It's outside the Pandora's box. I'll open it or whatever. Okay. Anyways, so we will have a live stream, a live stream dedicated to Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Sorry, Jurassic World Rebirth. And we will also be reading. So that's another thing. So we'll be reading. We'll also be reading this. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's all right. I need to reorganize some of the random fandom stuff into the Jurassic Park collection. Okay. I need just to get reorganized here on the channel. So yeah, just shaking things around. shake. I don't know if I did that right. Hand motion. Just shake things around, move things around. So expect that. Expect a lot of, not a whole lot, just a decent amount of like the videos and whatnot being just moved around. I wish it was a lot easier. I wish the format of YouTube was a lot easier to just move things around. But anyways, with that being said, we got a good nearly 10 minutes talking about the channel and the fact that I'm going to have to read this, not just read this, but also get me and Dominic Rex caught up to where we're supposed to be. So for this This is going to be a long live stream. This live stream that is here right now, this is going to be a long live stream. Expect it to be long because I will do a catch up. I have to catch up. Now, once the movie comes out, we will no longer be reading this story, unfortunately. Well, we'll boomerang back to reading it. We will boomerang back to reading it, but I would just pause, no matter where we leave off, pause and continue reading The Artificer. So yeah, we'll continue reading The Artificer because I'm way behind on that. I'm trying to read The Artificer, and then I will read another story from the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde collection. I forgot what it was called. But after that, I will read I kind of want to continue reading the Fazbear Fright stories. Probably. You know what? Actually, I'll take a break from the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde collection, and I'll read Fazbear Fright. Yeah, I'll read a Fazbear Fright story. Yeah, because Secret of the Mimic just came out recently. And so I feel like I should probably just we should definitely go back to Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. So that's another thing. So yeah, Artificer first. I wanted to get that, not to say get it out of the way, but I wanted to read The Artificer, and then during the fall, I don't know. I think what I should do is read the next chapter of The Artificer, and then read Fazbear Fright, and then circle back to The Artificer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Artificer, Fazbear Fright, circle back to Artificer again, and then just go from there. Just go from there. That's what I'm just going to have to do. I've been putting off, and it just kind of I've been kind of just switching it around from books to books and whatnot, reading about a whole bunch of other stuff. I promised the Dominic Rex that I would read this, but I never finished The Artificer. So let's read The Artificer, and then during the fall, especially around October, I will read the Fazbear Fright stories. There is one more book in the first book that we will cover. I don't know what it's called at the moment. I forgot. I can't remember if it's a story that I love or hate, but anyways. So yeah, that's all the planning. Now that we got 13 minutes of planning, let's read. I need to read. But before we read, I need to get something to drink. I'm starting to feel like my throat is a little parched. So be right back. All right. Okay. I'm back. I really need an audience. So someone to guinea pig to make sure that whatever. All right. I also need to start there's also I wanted to announce something. I got a new laptop. So I expect that for new things to happen, I will start doing a whole lot of different things I will try to get on top of a lot of things and get things done and whatnot. So yeah, expect things to happen expect new things to happen because of the fact that I got a new laptop. Not too much new things, just I don't know. Is there a way to make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? I also need this. Oh, the frames on my lips. What? Come on, pop back up. There we go. Okay, here we go. Skeleton. Wait, let me check a few things. I need to put this right there. That's perfect. Okay. Okay, so hello, whoever has stopped by just to say hello. Or if you're not here to say hello, whatever. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure that everything is fine. Make sure everything's fine. What's this? Okay, it seems everything's good. Okay, skeleton. Ellie Sattler brushed a strand of blonde, not blood, blood hair. Sorry, a strand of blonde hair back from her face and turned her attention to the acid baths. She had 6 in a row at molar strengths from 5 to 30%. She had to keep an eye on the stronger solutions because they would eat through the limestone and begin to erode the bones. Infant dinosaur bones were so fragile. She marveled that they had been preserved at all after 80 million years. She listened idly as Grant said, "Miss Levan, this is Alan Grant. What's this about You have a what? A what?" He began to laugh. "Oh, I doubt that very much, Miss Levan. No, I really don't have time. I'm sorry." "Well, I take a look at it, but I can pretty much guarantee it's a basilisk, basilisk, a basilisk lizard. But yes, you can do that." "All right, send it now." Grant hung up and shook his head. "These people," Ellie said. What's it about?" "Some lizard she's trying to identify," Grant said. "She's going to fax me an x-ray." He walked over to the fax and waited as the transmission came through. "Incidentally, I've got a new find for you. A good one." "Yes?" Grant nodded. "Found it just before the kid showed up on South Hill, Horizon 4. Fantastic Four. Oh, that's also another thing. After the Jurassic World Rebirth live stream, we will swing right back around and do a Fantastic Four live stream. Yeah. So and then after the Fantastic Four live stream, we will swing right back around and probably do a live stream. Hopefully a live stream before the Superman movie, and then swing back around and then watch after we watch the Superman movie. We will then do a Superman live stream. of that. Now, if things don't go in that order, what we'll probably do is do a Fantastic Four live stream covering us talking about all of the Fantastic Four movies no, there's only two. We'll talk about the two Fantastic Four movies. Oh, as far as the the Jurassic World Rebirth movie live stream, what we do was we'll do like a quick comparison or just quick rundown of what our thoughts are. So, by the way, that stream will be spoilers. Just spoiler warning. You have been warned. You have been warned. So, if you go in to watch the stream to expect no spoilers, you are clueless. You are a fool to think that. Because I am telling you now, we will spoil. We won't have, oh no, spoilers. Oh, spoilers ahead. We won't have a spoiler tag. We'll have live stream Jurassic World Rebirth or whatever. Jurassic World Rebirth, the random fandom, whatever. Right? We'll cover it and we will talk about it. And you will be spoiled about the movie. So do not watch it, please. I don't care about your views. I do not. Unless you watch it. If you watch Jurassic Park Rebirth and then you watch us talk about it during the live stream, then do not complain. There shouldn't be a single complaint about spoilers. We will not do a spoiler warning. Anyways, so skeleton. My nose is just awful today. It's good. Like I'm not sick or anything. It's just weird. It just feels weird. Everything's weird. Oh, and that's another thing. We'll do a live stream. When it comes to the live stream about the Fantastic Four, when it comes to the live stream about the Fantastic Four and the live stream about Superman, we will not do any spoiler thing. Anyways, we'll just whatever. Also, hello, any viewers are now here. On Horizon 4, infant velociraptor, jaw and complete detention. Sorry. So there's no question about identity. And the site looks undisturbed. And I'm checking here on the studio thing. It says that there's one concurrent viewer. Zero chat rate. Chat. Talk about something. If you can chat, say something. I don't care if you say the word something. I'll be happy. I might happen. I might not. You'll find out. Okay. So we might even get a full skeleton. That's Fantastic Four. Sorry. That's fantastic. Ellie said. How young? Young, Grant said. 2, maybe 4 months at most. And it's definitely a velociraptor? Definitely, Grant said. Maybe our luck has finally turned. For the last 2, so why did my 3? For the last 2 at Snakewater, the team had excavated only duck-billed hadrosaurs. They already had evidence for vast herds of these grazing dinosaurs roaming the Cretaceous plains in groups of 10 or 20,000 as buffalo would later roam. Hey, 24 minutes and we're doing good. But increasingly the question that faced them was, were where were the predators? They expected predators to be rare, of course. Studies of predators slash prey populations in the game parks of Africa and India suggested that, roughly speaking, there was one predatory carnivore for every 400 herbivores. That meant a herd of 10,000 duckbills would support only 25 tyrannosaurs. So it was unlikely that they would find the remains of a large predator. But where were the smaller predators? Snake Water had dozens of nesting sites. In some places, the ground was literally covered with fragments of dinosaur eggshells, and many small dinosaurs ate eggs. Animals like Dromaeosaurus, oh, I got that right, Dromaeosaurus, Oviraptor, sorry. I usually could say Oviraptor without problem, but for some reason, the Velociraptor and Seal, not C, Coloris, CEO, help, Coelosaurus? No, there's no Coelosaurus? Oh dear. I don't know how to pronounce this. Please have mercy on me. I don't know how to pronounce Colorus. Is it Colorus? Or do you pronounce the C so okay, that's weird. Colorus. I'm gonna guess it's Colorus. I've heard that my brother pronounces it differently, but I'm not. He's not here. He's not with me right now. He's doing something else at the moment. Predators 3 to 6 feet tall must have been found here in abundance, but they had discovered none so far. Perhaps this velociraptor skeleton meant their luck had changed. An infant! Ellie knew that one of Grant's dreams was to study infant rearing behavior in carnivorous dinosaurs, as he had already studied the behavior of herbivores. Perhaps this was the first step toward that dream. You must be pretty excited, Ellie said. Grant didn't answer. I said you must be excited, Ellie repeated. My God, Grant said. He was staring at the facts. Give me a second. I just need a sip. Ellie looked over Grant's shoulder at the X-ray and breathed out slowly. You think it's an Amazicus? Yes, Grant said. Or a Triassicus. The skeleton is so light. But it's no lizard, she said. No, Grant said. This is not a lizard. No three-toed lizard has walked on this planet for 200 million years. Ellie's first thought was that she was looking at a hoax, an ingenious, skillful hoax, but a hoax nonetheless. Every biologist knew that a threat of a hoax was omnipresent. The most famous hoax, the Piltdown Man, had gone undetected for 40 years. and its perpetrator was still unknown. More recently, the distinguished astronomer Fred Hall had claimed that a fossil-winged dinosaur, Archaeopteryx, on display in the British Museum was a fraud. It was later shown to be genuine. The essence of a successful hoax was that it presented scientists with what they expected to see. And to Ellie's eye, the X-ray image of the lizard was exactly correct. The three-toed foot was well balanced, with the medial claws smallest. The bony remnants of the fourth and fifth toes were located up near the metatarsal joint. The tibia was strong and considerably larger than the femur. At the hip, acetabulum, uh, acetabulum was complete. Sorry, I'm butchering words left and right. The tail showed 45 vertebrae. It was a proconsummation. Proconsummation. Procon. I can say this. I know. Proconsummation. There, I said it. Blah. Blah, 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 blah. Could this X-ray be faked? I don't know, Grant said. Oh, Grant has spilled some on my shirt. Even though I tried, it's my hardest, my dandiest to not spill. Could this X-ray be faked? I don't know, Grant said. But it's almost impossible to fake an X-ray. Now, Proconsummation is an obscure animal. Even people familiar with dinosaurs have never heard of it. Ellie read the note. Specimen acquired on the beach of Cabo Blanco, July 16th. Apparently, a howler monkey was eating the animal. And this was all that was rediscovered. Ah, and it says the lizard attacked a little girl. I doubt that, Grant said, but perhaps. Proconsummation was so small and light we assume it must be a scavenger, only feeding off of dead creatures. And you can tell the size. He measured quickly. It's about 20 centimeters to the hips, which means the full animal would be about a foot tall, about as big as a chicken. Even a child will look pretty fearsome to it. It might bite an infant, but not a child. Ellie frowned at the X-ray image. You think this could really be a legitimate rediscovery? She said. Like the coelacanth? Colarus. Okay. Maybe, Grant said. The coelacanth was a 5-foot-long fish thought to have died out 6 million years ago, until the specimen was pulled from the ocean in 1938. But there were other examples. The Australian mountain pygmy possum was known only from fossils until a live one was found in a garbage can in Melbourne. A 10,000-year-old fossil fruit bat from New Guinea was described by a zoologist, who not long after received a living specimen in the mail. But could it be real? She persisted. What about the age? Grant nodded. The age is a problem. Now this is where the story talks, where the narrator, but not Dr. Grant. Most rediscovered animals were rather recent additions to the fossil record, 10 or 20,000 uh, years old. Some were a few million years old. In the case of the uh, coelacanth, 65 million years old, but the specimen they were looking at was much older. Dinosaurs had died out in the Cretaceous period 65 million years ago. They had flourished as the dominant life form on the planet in the Jurassic 119 million years ago. And they had first appeared in the Triassic roughly 220 million years ago. It was during the early Triassic period that Procompsognathus had lived, a time so distant that our planet didn't even look the same. It even looked the same. All the continents were joined together in a single landmass called Pangea, which extended from the north to the south pole, a vast continent, sorry, a vast continent of ferns and forests with a few large deserts. The Atlantic Ocean was a narrow lake between what would have become Africa and Florida. The air was denser, the land was warmer. There were hundreds of active volcanoes, and it was in this environment that Procompsognathus lived. Well, Ellie said, we know animals have survived. Crocodiles are basically Triassic animals living in the present. Sharks are Triassic. So we know it happened. It has happened before. Grant nodded. And the thing is, Ben Grimm. Sorry. And the thing is, he said, how else do we explain it? It's either a fake, which I doubt, or else it's a rediscovery. What else could it be? The phone. Alice Lovin again. Grant said, let's see if she'll send us the actual specimen. He answered it and looked at Ellie, surprised. Yes, I'll hold for Mr. Hammond. Yes, of course. Hammond? What does he want? Ellie said. Grant shook his head and then said to the phone, yes, Mr. Hammond. Yes, it's good to hear your voice too. Yes. He looked at Ellie. Oh, you did. Oh, yes? Is that right? He cupped his hand over the mouthpiece and said, still as eccentric as ever. You've got to hear this. Grant pushed the speaker button, and Ellie heard a raspy old man's voice speaking rapidly. And so I'm going to use what we tried to do in the previous live stream, the Emperor Palpatine voice. But give me a moment to freshen up. Hell of annoyance from EPA fellow. Seems to have got off half-cocked all on his own. Running around the country, talking to people, steering up things. I don't suppose anybody's come to see you way out there. As a matter of fact, Grant said, somebody did come to see me. Hammond snorted. Hey. I was afraid of that smart-ass kid named Morris. Yes, his name was Morris, Grant said. He's going to see all our consultants, Hammond said. He went to see Ian Malcolm the other day. You know, the mathematician in Texas. That's the first I knew of it. We're having one hell of a time any getting a handle on this thing. It's typical of the way government operates. There isn't any complaint. There isn't any charge. Just harassment from some kid who's unsupervised and is running around at the taxpayer's expense. Did he bother you? Disrupt your work? No, he didn't bother me. Well, that's too bad in a way, Hammond said, because I tried to get an injunction to stop him if he had. As it is, I had our lawyers call over at EPA to find out what the hell their problem is. The head of the office claims he didn't know there was any investigation. You figured it out. Damn bureaucracy is all it is. Hell, I think this kid's trying to get down to Costa Rica. Poke around, get onto our island. You know we have an island down there. No, Grant said, looking at Ellie. I didn't know. Oh, yes. We've bought it and started our operation. What's moving? Oh, that's the book. Oh, 4 or 5 years ago now. I forget exactly. Called Isla Nubla. A big island, 100 miles offshore. Going to be a biological preserve. Wonderful place. Tropical jungle. You know, you ought to see it. Dr. Grant. Sounds interesting, Grant said. But actually, it's almost finished now, you know, Hammond said. I've sent you some material about it. Did you get my material? No, but we're pretty far from. Maybe you'll come today. Look it over. The island's just beautiful. It's got everything. We've been in construction now 13 months. You can imagine. Big park. Opens in September next year. You really ought to go see it. It sounds wonderful, but as a matter of fact, Hammond said, I'm going to insist you see it, Dr. Grant. I know you find it right up your alley. You'll find it fascinating. I'm in the middle of, Grant said. I say, I'll tell you what, Hammond said, as if the idea had just occurred to him. I'm having some of the people who consulted for us go down there this weekend, spend a few days and look it over. At our expense, of course. It'd be terrific if you give us your opinion. I couldn't possibly, Grant said. Oh, just for a weekend, Hammond said, with the irritating, cheery persistence of an old man. That's all I'm talking about, Dr. Grant. I wouldn't want to interrupt your work. I know how important that work is. Believe me, I know that. Never interrupt your work, but you could hop on down there this weekend and be back on Monday. No, I couldn't, Grant said. I just found a new skeleton and. Yes, fine. But I still think you should cut, Hammond said, not really listening. And we've just received some evidence for a very puzzling, remarkable find, which seems to be a living proconsonathid. A proconsonathid. A what? Sorry, what I said. A what? Hammond said, slowing down. I didn't quite get that. You said a living proconsonathid. That's right, Grant said. It's a biological specimen, a partial fragment of an animal collected from Central America. America. A living animal. You don't say, Hammond said. A living animal. How extraordinary. Yes, Grant said. Well, let me check the connection's good. Yes, Grant said. We think so too. So, you see, this isn't the time for me to be leaving Central America, did you say? Yes. Where in Central America is it from? Do you know? A beach called Cabo Blanco. I don't know exactly where. I see. Hammond cleared his throat. And when will this specimen arrive in your hands? Just today. Today. I see. Yes. Hammond cleared his throat again. Grant looked at Ellie and mouthed, what's going on? Ellie shook her head. Sounds upset. Grant mouthed, see if Morris is still here. She went to the window and looked out, but Morris's car was gone. She turned back. On the speaker, Hammond coughed again. Dr. Grant, have you told anybody about it yet? No. Good. Well, yes. I'll tell you frankly, Dr. Grant, I'm having a little problem about this island. This EPA thing is coming at just the wrong time. How's that? Grant said. Well, we've had our problems and some delays. Let's just say that I'm under a little pressure here, and I liked you to look at this island for me. Give me your opinion. I'll be paying you the usual weekend consultant rate of $20,000 a day. That would be $60,000 for 3 days. And if you can spare Dr. Sattler, she'll go at the same rate. We need a botanist. What do you say? Ellie looked at Granton as he said, Well, Mr. Hammond, that much money would fully finance our expedition for folly. Well, Mr. Hammond, that much money would fully finance our expeditions for the next 2 summers. Good, good, Hammond said blandly. He seemed distracted now, his thoughts elsewhere. I said something in the falls. Sorry. I want this to be easy. Now, I'm sending you the corporate jet to pick you up at that private airfield east of Chowtu. You know the one I mean. It's only about 2 hours' drive from where you are. You'd be there at 5 p.m. tomorrow, and I'll be waiting for you. Take you right down. Can you and Dr. Settler make that plane? Take that plane? I guess we can. Good. Pack lightly. You don't need passports. I'm looking forward to it. See you tomorrow, Hammond said, and hanging up. Cohen, Swain, and Ross. Ross! All right. Hold on. Ross! Hold on. I'll be right back after a few messages. All right, I'm back. Okay, sorry about that long wait. Okay, so okay. Cohen, Swain, and Ross. I don't have voices for Queen, Quan, Queen, Swain, or whatever. Quan, Swain, and Ross. I don't have any voices for those. The first two. Ross, I do. Oh, I'll go. What? What? Huh? What? Ah, oh. You know, okay, I'll try to go with that kind of voice. Anyways, midday sun streamed into the San Francisco law offices of Quan, Cowan, let's just call him Cowan. I'm sorry if I butchered someone's real name. Cowan, Swain, and Ross, giving the room a cheerful that Donald Gennaro did not feel. He listened on the phone and looked at his boss, Daniel Ross, cold as an undertaker, his dark pinstripe suit. Okay, so this is Gennaro. I'm gonna go with like the lawyer. Yeah, Gennaro. Hi, I'm Gennaro. Hi, from the movie. Hi, I'm Gennaro. Hi. I understand, John. Gennaro and Grant agreed to come. Good. Yeah, yes, that sounds fine to me. My congratulations, John. He hung up at the phone and turned to Ross. We can't trust Hammond anymore. He's under too much pressure. The EPA is investigating him. He's behind schedule on his Costa Rican resort, and the investors are getting nervous. There have been too many rumors of problems down there. Too many workmen have died, and now this business about living Procom said whatever on the mainland. What does that mean? Ross said. Maybe nothing, Gennaro said, but Hamachi is one of our principal investors. I got a report last week from Hamachi's representative in San Jose, the capital of Costa Rica. According to the report, some new kind of lizard is biting children on the coast. Hello to any viewers that are here. Ross blinked. No lizard. I don't know why I'm giving him this voice. That's horrible. Yes, Gennaro said. We can't screw around with this. We've got to expect the island right away. I've asked Hammond to arrange the independent site inspections every week for the next 3 weeks. And what does Hammond say? He insists nothing is wrong on the island. Claims he has all these security precautions. But you don't believe him, Ross said. No, Gennaro said. I don't. Donald Gennaro had come to Cohen Swain from a background in investment banking. Cohen, Swain, and Swain's high-tech clients frequently needed capitalization, and Gennaro helped them find the money. One of his assignments back in 1982 had been to accompany John Hammond while the old man, then nearly 70, put together the funding to start the engine cooperation. They eventually raised almost $1 billion, and Gennaro remembered it as a wild ride. Hammond's a dreamer, Gennaro said. A potentially dangerous dreamer, Ross said. We should never have gotten involved. What is our financial position? The firm, Gennaro said, owns 5%. General Unlimited. General, Ross shook his head. We should never have done that. Excuse me. It seemed wise at the time, Gennaro said. Hell, it was 8 years ago. We took it in lieu of some fees. And if you remember, Hammond's plan was extremely speculative. He was really pushing the envelope. I was just thinking it's like him pushing an envelope, just pushing it, just continuously pushing it, pushing it. He was really pushing the envelope, and nobody really thought he could pull it off. But apparently he has, Ross said. In any case, I agree that an inspection is overdue. Oh, what about your site experts? I'm starting with experts. Hammond said I'm starting with experts. Hammond already hired as consultants. Earlier in the project, Gennaro tossed a list onto Ross's desk. First group is a paleontologist, a paleobotanist, and they go down this weekend. I'll go with them. Will they tell you the truth? Ross said. I think so. None of them had much to do with the island, and one of them, the mathematician Ian Malcolm, who was openly hostile to the project from the start and said that it will never work. Could never work. And who else? I'm sorry, my Ross voice is starting to sound like Scooby-Doo. Excuse me. Who else? Just a technical person, the computer system analyst. Review the park's computers and fix some bugs. He should be there by Friday morning. Fine, Ross said. You're making the arrangements? Hammond asked to place the calls himself. I think he wants to pretend that he's not in trouble, that it's just a social invitation, showing off his island. All right, Ross said, but just make sure it happens. Stay on top of it. I want this Costa Rican situation resolved within a week. Ross got up and walked out of the room. Gennaro dialed and heard the whining hiss of a radiophone. Then he heard a voice said, Grant here. Hi, Dr. Grant. This is Donald Gennaro. I'm the general counsel for Engine. We talked a few years back. I don't know if you remember. I remember, Grant said. Well, Gennaro said, I just got off the phone with John Hammond, who tells me the good news that you're coming down to our island in Costa Rica. Yes, Grant said. I guess we're going down there tomorrow. Well, I just want to extend my thanks to you for doing this on a short notice. Everybody at Engine appreciates it. We've asked Ian Malcolm, who liked excuse me. Excuse me. We asked Ian Malcolm, who, like you, was one of the early consultants, to come down as well. He's the mathematician at UT in Austin. John Hammond mentioned that, Grant said. Well, good, Gennaro said. Yeah. And I'll be coming too, as a matter of fact. By the way, this specimen you have found a what is it? Proconsumasis. Grant said, yes. Do you have the specimen with you, Dr. Grant? The actual specimen? No, Grant said. I've only seen an x-ray. The specimen is in New York. A woman from Columbia University called me. Well, I wonder if you could give me the details on that. Gennaro said. Then I can run down that specimen from Mr. Hammond, who's very excited about it. I'm sure you want to see the actual specimen too. Perhaps I can even get it delivered to the island while you're all down there, Gennaro said. Grant gave him the information. Well, that's fine, Dr. Grant. Grant gave him the information. Well, that's fine, Dr. Grant. Gennaro said. My regards to Dr. Sattler. I look forward to meeting you and him tomorrow. And Joe and I hang up. Now, we're on to plans. Okay. Sip real quick. Now, later tonight, we'll set up the live. I'll have to end the live stream at some time after I'm done catching up. But I'm planning to do, after I do the catch up, I'll record a video for the Transformers video. I'm a little bit behind on that. So you'll see they'll upload eventually between now and when the month ends, the end of June, somewhere between the end of June. Anyways, after I'm done with that video, Dominic and I will do a live stream. Anyways, plans. This just came, Ellie said the next day, walking to the back of the trailer with a thick manila envelope. One of the kids brought it back from town. It's from Hammond. Grant noticed the blue and white engine logo as he tore open the envelope. Inside, there was no cover letter, just a boundless stack of paper. Pulling it out, he discovered it was blueprints. They were reduced, forming a thick book. The cover marked Isola Nublar, Resort Guest Facilities, Full Set Safari Lodge. Oh, that's cool, Safari Lodge. What the hell is this? He said. As he flipped open the book, a sheet of paper fell out. Dear Alan and Ellie, as you can imagine, we don't have much in the way of formal promotional materials yet. But this should give you some idea of the Isla Nublar project. I think it's very exciting. Looking forward to discussing this with you. Hope you can join us. Regards, John. I don't get it, he said. He flipped through the sheets. These are architectural plans. Sorry, I can't pronounce words for crap. Architectural plans. Architectural plans. He turned to the top sheet. Visitor Center / Lounge. Isla Nublar Resort. Clock Engine Incorporated. Palo Alto, California. Architectural plans. The architects. Okay, there. I could say it. For some reason, I could say this shorter version of the word. Anyways, Dunning, Murphy and Associates, New York. Richard Murphy, design partner Theodore Chen, senior designer Sheldon James, administrative partner. Engineers, Harlow, Whitney and Fields, Boston. Structural, A.T. Missikawa, Osaka Mechanical. Landscaping, Shepperton Rogers, London. A. Ashikaga H. Iyasu Kanazawa. North Vermont, Kobayashi No, electrical, sorry. And then it says electrical. NV Kobayashi, Tokyo AR, Makasawa, senior consultant. Computers C/C. Integrated Computer Systems Incorporated, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Disney project supervisor. Grant turned to the plans themselves. They were stamped industrial secrets, do not copy, and confidential work product, not for distribution. Each sheet was numbered at the top. These plans represent the confidential creations of Engine Incorporated. You must have signed document 112/4A or you risk prosecution. Looks pretty paranoid to me, she said. Maybe there's a reason, Ellie said. The next page was a topographical map. It showed Isla Nubar as an inverted teardrop, bulging at the north, tapering at the south. The island was 8 miles long, and the map divided into several large sections. The northern section was marked Visitor Area and contained structures marked Visitor Arrivals, Visitor/Administration, Power/Desalinization/Support, Hammond Res. I think Hammond Res means resort or something. I don't know. Hammond Res and Safari Lodge. Grant could see the outline of a swimming pool, the rectangles of tennis courts, and the round squiggles that represented planting and shrubbery. Looks like a resort, all right, Ellie. It looks like a resort, all right, Ellie said. There followed detailed sheets for the Safari Lodge itself. In the elevation sketches, the lodge looked dramatic. A long, low building with a series of pyramid shapes on the roof, but there was little about the other buildings in the visitor area. And the rest of the island was even more mysterious. As far as Grant could tell, it was mostly open space, a network of roads, tunnels, and outlying buildings, and a long lake that appeared to be man-made with concrete dams and barriers. But for the most part, the island was divided into big curving areas with very little development at all. Each area was marked by codes. /P/PROC/V/2A, /D/TRIC/L, take this out, /5, open parentheses, 4A plus 1, close parentheses, comma, /LN/OTHN/C/4, open parentheses, 3A plus 1, close parentheses, and /VV/HADR/X/11, open parentheses, 6A plus 3 plus 3 dB, close parentheses, period. Is there an explanation for the codes? She said. Grant flipped the pages rapidly, but he couldn't find one. Maybe they took it out. Maybe they took it out, she said. I'm telling you, paranoid. He looked at the big curving divisions separated from one another by the network of roads. There were only 6 divisions on the whole island. Each division was separated from the road by a concrete moat. Outside each moat was a fence with a little lightning sign alongside it. That mystified them until they were finally able to figure out what it meant. That mystified them until they were finally able to figure out it meant. So I couldn't read the word it for a second. It was just eyes. It meant the fences were electrified. That's odd, she said. Electrified fences at a resort? Miles of them, Grant said. Electrified fences and moats together, and usually with a road alongside them as well. It's just like a zoo, Ellie said. They went back to the topographical map and looked closely at the contour lines. The roads had been placed oddly. The main road ran north-south, right through the central hills of the island, including one section of road that seemed to be literally cut into the side of a cliff above a river. It began to look as if there had been a deliberate effort to leave these open areas as big enclosures separated from the roads by moats and electric fences. And the roads were raised above the ground level so you could see over the fences. You know, Adley said, some of these dimensions are enormous. Look at this. This concrete moat is 30 feet wide. That's like a military fortification. So are these buildings, Grant said. He had noticed that each open division had a few buildings, usually located in out of the way corners, but the buildings were all concrete with thick walls. Thick! In side view elevations, they looked like concrete bunkers with small windows, like the Nazi pillboxes from old war movies. The Nazis! At that moment, they heard a muffled explosion. And Grant pulled the papers aside. Back to work, he said. Fire! There was, there was a slight vibration, and then yellow contour lines traced across the computer screen. Excuse me. This time, the resolution was perfect, and Alan Grant had a glimpse of the skeleton, beautifully beautifully defined, the long neck arched back. It was unquestionably an infant velociraptor, and it looked perfect. The screen went blank. I hate computers, Grant said, squinting in the sun. What happened now? I lost the interrogator input, one of the kids said. Just a minute. The kid bent to look at the tangle of wires going into the back of the battery-powered portable computer. They had set the computer up on a beer carton on top of Hill 4. Fantastic 4. Not far from the device they called Thumper. And that's why they call me Thumper. Oh. Thumper. Grant sat down on the side of the hill and looked at his watch. He said to Ellie, we're going to have to do this old-fashioned way. One of the kids overheard. Aw, Ellen. Look, Grant said. I've got a plane to catch, and I want the fossil protected before I go. Once you begin to expose a fossil, you have to continue, or risk losing it. visitors imagined the landscape of the Badlands to be unchanging. But in fact, it was continuously eroding. Literally right before your eyes, all day long, you could hear the clatter of pebbles rolling down the crumbling hillside. And there was always the risk of a rainstorm. Even a brief shower would wash away a delicate fossil. Thus, Grant's partially exposed skeleton was at risk, and it had to be protected until he returned. Fossil protection ordinarily consisted of a tarp over the site and a trench around the perimeter to control the water runoff. The question was how large a trench Velociraptor fossil required. To decide that, they were using a computer-assisted sonic tomography, or and goodbye, the one viewer. I'm not certain if you're here. Whatever. Cast. This was a procedure in which Thumper fired a solid lead slugged into the ground, setting up shockwaves that were read by the computer. And assembled into a kind of an X-ray image of the hillside. They had been using it all summer with varying results. Thumper was 20 feet away now, a big silver box on wheels with an umbrella on top. It looked like an ice cream vendor's push cart, parked encourageously on the Badlands. Thumper had 2 youthful attendants loading the next soft lead pellet. So far, the CAST program merely located the extent of fire. Hello? I know I caught it when I caught it. It said I caught it, but we have a good connection by the looks of it. I will. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. I'm hoping it's not a bad sign here. So I'm going to reread that. Where was I? I'm going to reread that part of the paragraph. But I'm going to wait until I have a. I don't trust it. I really don't trust my very own live stream. I'll give it a second. Okay, so let's. I hope this isn't jinxing it. There we go. Let's keep it right there. Says excellent. It looks like we're good. Fossil protection ordinarily consisted of a tarp over the site and a trench around the perimeter to control the water runoff. The question was how large a trench the velociraptor fossil required. To decide that, they were using a computer-assisted sonic tomography, or CAST, C-A-S-T. This was a new procedure in which Thumper fired a soft lead slug into the ground and setting up shockwaves that were read by the computer and assembled into a kind of X-ray image of the hillside. Had been using it all summer with varying results. Thumper was 20 feet away now, with a big silver box on wheels with an umbrella on top. It looked like an ice cream vendor's pushcart parked encouragingly on the Badlands. Thumper had 2 youthful attendants loading the next soft lead pellet. So far, the CAST program merely located the extent of the finds, helping Grant's team to dig more efficiently. But the kids claimed that within a few years, it would be possible to generate an image so detailed that the excavation would be redundant. And so far, we're doing excellent connection. You could get a perfect image of the bones in 3 dimensions, and it promised a whole new era of archaeology without excavation. But none of that had happened yet, and the equipment had worked flawlessly in the university laboratory proved pitifully delicate and fickle in the field. How much longer? Grant said. We got an hour. That's not bad. Grant went to look at the computer. Give me a second. Sorry. Grant went to look at the computer screen. He saw the complete skeleton traced in bright yellow. It was indeed a young specimen. The outstanding characteristic of Velociraptor, the single-toed claw, which a full-grown animal was curved 6-inch long weapon capable of ripping open its prey, was in this infant no longer than the thorn of a rose bush. It was hardly visible at all on the screen, and Velociraptor was a lightly built dinosaur in any case, an animal as fine-boned as a bird and presumably as intelligent. Hello, viewer. Hopefully you can stay. We had some technical difficulties in midstream. Hopefully we can continue this without any further problems. Excuse me. Here the skeleton appeared in perfect order, except that the head and the neck were bent back toward the posterior. Such neck flexion was so common in fossils that some scientists had formulated a theory to explain it, suggesting that the dinosaurs had become extinct because they had been poisoned by colloids in plants. The twisted neck was thought to signify the death of agony of the dinosaurs. Grant had finally put that one to rest by demonstrating that many of the species of birds and reptiles underwent a post-mortem contraction of posterior neck ligaments, which bent the head backward in a characteristic way. It had nothing to do with the cause of death. It had to do with the way a carcass dried in the sun. Excuse me. Didn't mean to sneeze so loudly. Huh. Hello, viewer. Grant saw that this particular skeleton had also been twisted laterally, so that the right leg and foot were raised above the backbone. It looks kind of distorted, one kid said, but I don't think it's the computer. No, Grant said, it's just time. Lots and lots of time. Grant knew that the people could not imagine geological time. Human life was lived on another scale of time entirely. An apple turned brown in a few minutes. Silverware turned black in a few days. A composite heap decayed in a season. A child grew a child grew a child grew up in a decade. None of these everyday human experiences prepared people to be able to imagine the meaning of 80 million years, the length of time that had passed since the little animal had died. In the classroom, Grant had tried different comparisons. If you imagine the human lifespan of 60 years was compressed to an hour, then 80 million years would still be 3,652 years older than the pyramids. The velociraptor had been dead a long time. It doesn't look very fearsome, one of the kids said. It wasn't, Grant said. At least not until he grew up. Probably this baby had scavenged, feeding off carcasses slain by the adults, after the big animals had gorged themselves and laying basking in the sun. Carnivores could eat as much as 25% of their body weight in a single meal, and it made them sleepy afterward. The babies would chitter and scramble over the indulgent, somnolent bodies of the adults and nip little bites from the dead animal. The babies were probably cute little animals, cute little baby, little animals. But an animal, it's not an animal, sorry. But an adult velociraptor was another matter entirely. Pound for pound, and a velociraptor was the most rapacious dinosaur that had ever lived. Although relatively small, about 200 pounds, the size of a leopard, velociraptors were quick, intelligent, and vicious, able to attack with sharp claws, powerful clawed forearms, and a devastating single claw on the foot. Velociraptors hunted in packs, and Grant thought it must have been a sight to see a dozen of these animals racing at full speed, leaping onto the back of a much larger dinosaur, tearing at the neck and slashing at the ribs and belly. We're running out of time, Alex said, bringing him back. Grant gave instructions for the trench. From the computer image, they knew the skeleton lay in a relatively confined area. A ditch around the 2-meter square would be sufficient. Meanwhile, Ellie lashed down the tarp that covered the side of the hill. Hello, any viewers that are still watching? My nose is very itchy. Where am I? Side of the hill. Grant helped her pound in the final sticks. How did the baby die? One of the kids asked. I doubt we'll know, Grant replied. Infant mortality in the wild is high. In African parks, it runs 70% among some carnivores. It could have been anything, disease, separation from the group, anything. Or even attack. Oh, brother, this dude is so. Shut up! Shut up! Be quiet! Quiet! Or even attacked by an adult. We know these animals hunted in packs, but we don't know anything about their social behavior in a group. The students nodded. They had all studied animal behavior, and they knew, for example, that when a new male took over a lion pride, the first thing he did was kill all the cubs. Lion King. Sorry. Kill. The reason was apparently genetic. The male had evolved to decimate his genes as widely as possible, and by killing the cubs, he brought all the females into heat so that he could impregnate them. It also prevented the females from wasting their time nurturing the offspring of another male. Perhaps the velociraptor hunting pack was also ruled by a dominant male. They knew so little about dinosaurs, Grant thought. After 150 years of research and excavation all around the world, they still knew almost nothing about the dinosaurs had really been like. We've got to go, Ellie said. If we're going to get to Chatu by 5. The next chapter is called Hammond. And I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Where did my viewer go? Hammond. I don't know if I should stop here or if I want and Dominic Rex to pick up where we leave off. I'll start with the first paragraph to kind of give you a feel, because I think this is I think I'm practically over with the catching up. Yeah, I think I'm done with catching up by the looks of it. These are 2 short chapters, and I'm tempted to read them. Let me just start with the first chapter, the first paragraph. Let me start with the first paragraph, and then I'll end it there. Yeah. Gennaro said, bustled with a new suitcase. It still had the sales tags on it. Yeah, now, Mr. Gennaro, she said severely, when you forget to pack it, makes me think you don't really want to go on this trip. Maybe you're right, Gennaro said. I'm missing my kid's birthday. Saturday was Amanda's birthday. And Elizabeth had invited 20 screaming for kids. Yeah, to the 20s. And Elizabeth had invited 20 screaming 4-year-olds to share it, as well as Cappy the Clown. Oh no, Cappy the Clown, no! We don't want a Cappy the Clown! Cappy the Clown. It sounds like a reference to Fallout 76, which is odd because Fallout 76 came after this book was published. Okay. Well, Cappy the Clown isn't a clown. Cappy is a mascot that's just literally a bottle cap. And he's not a clown. He's just a bottle cap. Anyways, but to have Cappy the Clown, oh no, it's Cappy the Clown. Oh, I'm missing out my daughter's birthday. I'm missing out all these kids screaming. And I'm missing out Cappy the Clown and a magician. Oh no. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna die at Jurassic Park, so well, whatever. Cappy the Clown. Okay. missing my kid's birthday. Saturday was Amanda's birthday, and Elizabeth invited 20 screaming 4-year-olds to share it, as well as Cappy the Clown and a magician. His wife hadn't been happy to hear that Gennaro was going out of town. Neither was Amanda. Gennaro! How dare you go out and go to a complete... You don't invite us to an island? Your daughter's birthday is today. Gennaro! Even less than they do. Even less than they do about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. It's just shit. That's not relevant, Dominic Rex. Why don't you just come up here and join the stream? We could just extend this stream. I kid. All right, let me end the stream. Let me end this stream first. Neither was Amanda. Well, I did the best I could on short notice, his secretary said. There's running shoes your size, and khaki shorts and shirts, and a shaving kit, a pair of jeans, and a sweatshirt if it gets cold. The car is downstairs. I can just imagine down the stairs. I could just imagine just down the stairs. There's just the car, and it's not in the garage. It's not in the driveway. It's literally just down the stairs, and you just have to drop out of the building, just go. Anyways, down the stairs to take you to the airport. You have to leave now to make the flight. She left. Gennaro walked down the hallway, tearing the sales tags off the suitcase. He's just walking down the stairs and he's just these stupid stacks. And he just falls down the rest of the stairs. Off the suitcase. As he passed the all-glass conference room, Dan Ross left the table. It came outside. Have a good trip, Ross said. But let's be very clear about one thing. I don't know how bad the situation actually is, Donald. But there's a problem on the island. Burn it to the ground. Jesus, Dan. We're talking about a big investment. Don't hesitate. Don't think about it. Just do it. You hear me? Gennaro nodded. I hear you, he said. But Hammond, screw Hammond, Ross said. I want to read the rest of this chapter. I want Ross is. Oh, he's not going to be in the rest of the book, isn't he? Ross gets to live another day, doesn't he? Don't spoil it, Dominic. I hope you read this book before. I just I want to read more. Screw Hammond, Ross said. Oh my gosh, in the next paragraph. Okay. In the next paragraph, Hammond speaks. I know I said I was going to read the one paragraph, but let me read this next line that says here. My boy. The familiar recipe voice said. How have you been, my boy? Okay, that's where I'm going to leave it off. And Dominic Rex will have to reread. Or I'm so tempted to just read this paragraph right now. Because I wanted to make some progress in this stream because we lost progress. And Dominic, comment down in the section below. Comment down. What do you think? Do you think I should continue to make some progress? I'll wait for you. Do you think we should make some progress before we do the next live stream? Dominic, do you think I should make some progress before I go on to the next live stream? And Dominic. That's great. I'm gonna just read this chapter anyways. Wait, hold on. Does he say anything? Dominic. Yeah, Dominic. Are you there? I'm gonna make some progress regardless. It's a short chapter. It's not gonna take me long. My boy, the familiar raspy voice said. How have you been, my boy? Oh, very well, sir, Gennaro replied. He leaned back in the pedal leather chair of the Gulfstream 2. Not the Gulfstream 1, the Gulfstream 2 jet. As it flew east toward the Rocky Mountains. Have you... No, sorry. That's the wrong sentence. You never call me anymore, Hammond said reproachfully. I've missed you, Donald. How is your lovely wife? She's fine. Elizabeth's fine. We have a lovely girl now. Wonderful, wonderful. Children are such a delight. She'd get a kick out of our new park in Costa Rica. Gennaro had forgotten how short Hammond was. He's a wee little man. How short Hammond was. As he sat in the chair, his feet didn't touch the carpeting. Oh dear. That's been a tall seat. Oh, God. He swung his legs as he talked. Wee, wee, wee. Okay. There was a childlike quality. Now imagine like Emperor Palpatine just in this like slightly tall chair, and he's a short individual, right? And he's just swaying a little bit. His legs are swaying a little bit. And then, like, you got this normal human-sized lawyer, does Gennaro. Swung his legs as he talked. There was a childlike quality to the man, even though Hammond must now be what? 75? 76? Something like that. He looked older than Gennaro remembered, but then Gennaro hadn't seen him for almost 5 years. Hammond was flamboyant. Okay, now I have to do a flamboyant. Flamboyant. Serious. Oh God, this just sounds so. Oh God, this is good. Hammond was a flamboyant, a born showman back in 1983. He had an elephant that carried around him in a little cage. Oh, that he carried around with him in a little cage. Oh, that's weird. The elephant was 9 inches high and a foot long. Wee. And perfectly formed, except his tusks were stunted. Hammond took the elephant with him to a fundraiser. Hammond took the elephant. What? Hammond took the elephant with him to fundraising meetings. Gennaro usually carried it into the room. the cage covered with a little blanket, like a tea cozy. And Hammond would give his usual speech about the prospect called consumer biologicals. Then, at the dramatic moment, Hammond would whip away the blanket to reveal the elephant. The elephant in the room. Sorry. And he would ask for money. Elephant, this elephant's cute. Money. Give me money. Money. Elephant. Money. Elephant. Money. Elephant. Money. Okay. You like elephant? Yeah! Give me money. Yeah, here's your money. Yeah. Just, and then the elephant's like, yay, I make money. Yeah. Or is it more like a, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I like this more better. Yay, I make money. Whee, whoa, yeah, I'm an elephant. Yeah. Oh my god. The elephant was always rousing. The elephant was always a rousing success. Its tiny body, hardly bigger than a cat, bigger than a cat's, promised untold wonders to come from the laboratory of Norman and Theraton, genus, the Stanford genist, who was Hammond's partner in the new venture. So this is a genetically modified elephant. This elephant is just created in a lab to be just constantly cute and small. Hello?
Bro,
Oh, hello. It's the Dominic Rex, everyone. Come over here to the comfy couch.
you're reading too much.
I know. I got excited. And I wanted to make some progress here.
You agreed to read the rest on the next stream.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll get to I'll stop here at the baby elephant so that the next stream we'll pick it up from there, or you can pick it up.
You only agreed that you would catch them up to where things got cut off.
But I kind of want to make some progress. I had to. It was funny. And you didn't comment down below. I had to ask you a question if you wanted me, if it was okay if I could just kind of make progress here. But
Well,
you didn't answer.
no, that's because I was off my phone. I was on my way up here.
Okay. Well, anyways, that's
I was on my way up here to kick you off the video.
Anyways, I've gotta go. See y'all soon.
Yeah, prepare for the next stream because I'll be reading, and you won't have to listen to this poor sap stuttering over every word. Every single word.
Not every single word. That's just bad.
Bro was sniveling and stuttering over every single sentence.
Well,
you
anyway.
should have brought a tissue.
I took some breaks every now and then just to make sure it's fine. My nose is fine. It's just
anyways.
itchy.
Thank you for participating in this stream, and make sure you leave a like down below. Comment if you want to or not. I've already gotten the ball rolling. Yeah, but I like to keep the mystery. And make sure you hit the bell icon, ding, 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 so that you'll get all notifications and you won't miss the video here on the Raven Fandom with Ravenwood and me, yours truly, and Dominic Rex. And until our next stream, which hopefully will be later tonight, yay or nay, it's all up to the sap here. So We'll see y'all then. We'll continue more of Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. And then when July 2nd comes out, we'll be giving y'all our honest review on Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
So look forward to that video. And until
Well, it's a live
then,
stream, actually.
yeah, well, look forward to that. Until then, keep an eye on some of RavenWood's Transformers videos. He'll be making more of those in the next couple of days or so.
I've already done that at the beginning of this live stream. The whole thing.
And we'll also be doing a few more videos here and there on the side. Until then, guys. Until next time. Cheers. Much love as always. Leave a like or leave dislike, the options available to you, the viewers. And until next time, tip of the hat, y'all. I tip my own hat, but I'm not in frame, so I'll tip Raven's hat.
And we'll see y'all soon. And then next episode. Bye-bye!